going to tell you something about chapter number 14, climate change. It refers a change in the long-term weather patterns. It's a cumulative change, okay, CC because of the fossil fuels and cutting of trees. Measurable effects of the continual warming trend, major shifts in temperature, rainfall, snowfall, and wind patterns lasting decades or more. Decades or more, it means 30 to 35 years. Okay. Climate forcing. Positive forcing are there and negative forcing. So, what is positive forcing? Excess of GHG gases warm the earth. Negative forcing, effects of most aerosols and volcanic eruptions actually cool the earth. Factors that increase or decrease the effect of climate system, that is called as climate forcing. Dark carbon is a rich particle such as soot from diesel engine absorbs sunlight and warm the atmosphere. Carbon is indirect GHG gas. Okay, so carbon is an indirect GHG gas. GHG gases transport to short ranges but absorb the long rays, are reason for increasing temperature. So GHG gas is transparent to short rays, you can say sun rays, okay, short rays, but absorb the long rays which float back from the earth. And reason for this, it increases temperature. Theories of climate changes, theories involving displacement of continents. So a continental drift theory of Wegener, which is somehow states that changes in latitude, elevation, temperature, precipitation, wind pattern is somehow a change in the climate. Plate tectonic theory, it increase in the elevation, orogeny, or you can say mountain building, thunder type of conditions occurs. That's why it makes some type of climate change. Theories involving changes in composition of atmosphere. A. Volcanic dust theory. Volcanic dust particles or aerosols blocks the sun rays and the temperature decreases and make a cooling effect. Okay. And the second one, carbon dioxide theory, given by T.C. Chamberlain. And the third theory was given by Milankovitch, principle of climate change, or astronomical or optical theories of CC, climate change, motion of the earth. Because of the motion of earth, some changes were there. So this is also done like this. Global warming, earth warmed up, increases already 100 years, mostly in last 20 years. 2016 was the hottest year of the century. Then accompany heat waves, wildfires, tropical storms are there. Global warming is an average increase in the temperature of the atmosphere near Earth's surface or troposphere, which contributes to changes in climate patterns. What are the impact of climate change or global warming? Increase in the sea level, rainfall pattern changes, then heat waves come, then ice cap melting, then glaciers melting, the same one. Animal population also somehow getting decreased. Then spread of diseases, many of diseases may be spread. Then coral bleaching and loss of planktons. So what is greenhouse effect? Naturally occurring phenomena that blankets the earth's cover atoms and warms up, maintaining temperature to survive. GHG plays an important role in cooling and warming. Okay, greenhouse gases, or sorry, greenhouse effect is same like a greenhouse warms. Human development developed human developed GHG upset the natural balance. Okay, so one diagram is there where the frost are there all around, so they make a greenhouse type of with the help of glasses, and then it warms and the plants inside that greenhouse may survive. So that's why it is called as greenhouse. Okay, greenhouse gases, natural and anthropological generation. Very first, water vapor. Water vapor is the biggest contributor of GHG gases, so be careful. It is really important fact that water vapor, so water vapor is a biggest contributor. CO2, carbon dioxide will boost water vapor, and carbon dioxide can persist longer than water vapor cycles. Now it's turn to carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is generated due to human activities. Natural and carbon dioxide found in carbon cycle. Human activities increase carbon dioxide and reduce the carbon sinks. Sources: fossil fuels, then diesel, industrial pollution. These are the major sources of carbon dioxide. Fossils: electricity and transportation, cement, metals, and chemical industries. Because of these, also CO2 increases. More carbon dioxide increase greenhouse effect, then warmer atmosphere, oceans, then thermal thermal expansion, larger hurricanes may develop, more evaporation done, and then increase stratification. Then thermal expansion, because of the thermal expansion, sea level rise. Okay, then more evaporation, more rain comes. Then increased stratification, oceans are less productive. So because of this, these also climate change somehow occurs. Methane, CH4, wetlands, more livestock manure there in the wetlands, small oceans and volcanoes, industries, crude oil and natural gas. Methanes also came out. Nitrous oxide, N2O, nitrogen cycle is important, emitted when transportation fuels are burned. Okay, then agriculture, fossil fuels, H2O management, and industrial, like in industries also we can get in nitrous oxide. Then fertilizers also contain this nitrous oxide. Then livestock manure and urine release also N2O. Okay, N2O means nitrous oxide. Then fluorinated gases, long lasting type of GHGs, high global warming potential. Industrial process, these gases generated can be destroyed by the sunlight. Three main categories: CFCs, hydrofluorocarbon, perfluorocarbon, and sulfur hexafluoride are used. The sulfur hexafluoride, which is SF6, used in magnesium processing, used in a circuit breakers. Okay, then hydrofluoro CFCs is not used in freezers and ACs, because it destroy 100 oxygen molecules. Okay, and HFCs are used now. So instead of chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, now HFCs are used instead of this. Then black carbon soot, solid particles, warming of atoms produced by incomplete combustion. Then sources: biomass burning like cow dung, cooking, and diesel exhausts. Then what does black carbon do? It reduced albedo, reflection of sunlight, absorb sunlight, lifetime, several days to week. 25% to 35% black carbon contribution from India and China. So that's really bad news that India and China both are somehow contribute in the black carbon generation. Burning of wood, cow dung, use of coal. Because of these black carbon generated, government measures: solar cookers and solar lamps under project Surya. Brown carbon under the shoot, wood burning and agriculture fires. Brown carbon generates. Climate forcings, done already. Carbon forcing I have done negatively and positively. Now global warming potential, impact of impact of each gas on global warming. Stay in atoms. Then global warming potential is equal to total energy that a gas absorbs in 100 years, divided by composed CO2. Okay, composed CO2. Then gas. So here I'm going to share one chart which somehow compares the gases and their lifetime with their amount. Okay, so carbon dioxide, if we take one amount, then it take 100 years. Then CH4, if we take 21 amount, then it takes 12 year. Then N2O, we take 310 amount, then it take 120 years. And in the same way, many of gases are there. And SF6, which is, I have already told you, SF6 means the sulfur hexachloride. Sulfur hexachloride, we will take 23,900. Then it will take approximate 32,000 years to absorb, or you can say warming up. Glaciers, the retreat Changes in mass balance of glaciers, water supply, Mongolia and China, Afghanistan and Pakistan. Then threat of economy. Then poor countries also very much disturbed by the glaciers. Chain of events like fossil fuels comes, then GHG gases increased, then global warming done, then climate change done. Climate change occurs, then melting of glaciers occurs, rise of sea level, then submergence done, and destruction of ecosystems and extinctions. Now it's time to understand ocean acidification. So it is chapter number 15. Ocean acidification means the CO2 reserves there are there. Okay, lowering of pH, ocean acidification. So whenever the water pH is lowering, then it acidification done. Increase of increase of hydrogen ions, H plus ions, and decrease of carbonate ions. It means C ions. Okay, C, that is decreased. So because of this, the water becomes less alkaline, and then CO2, because of CO2, ocean acidification done. Corals are not present there, less planktons and less fishes. So it is somehow very threat to the marine system. Influence of other factors: acid rain. Acid rain makes the soil infertile. It decreases respiration of soil organism. pH is equal you can say 1 to 6. Effect on vegetation, also wildlife, effect on eggs of eggs of frogs also. Then bad eutrophication, plankton blooms, subside bacterias. Then carbon dioxide increased, then low pH is there. And methyl mercury accumulated in edible fish tissue. So because of this acid rain, methyl mercury accumulated in the fish's tissue, and then after it might be consumed, then it is also harmful for the health of human being also. Then here eutrophication is bad for the lakes and rivers and other water bodies. Okay, then on humans, irritation of skin occurs because of acid rain. Okay, respiratory tract done. Then chronic bronchitis, it is the type of disease. Okay, then cancer it might be occurred. Then fixed poisoning and increase in the level of toxic heavy metals. Acidification and reaction. So one reaction is there: CO2 plus H2O, then H2O, then H2CO3, it means carbonic acid. And then when it reacts, then a hydrogen ion came out, and plus HCO3, it means bicarbonate done. Mitigation, how we mitigate with this ocean acidification? Very first, lowering of the carbon dioxide level. Okay, then eliminate drilling in the mining and all that process was done. That is also should be eliminate. Then energy efficiency should be consider. Then wind, solar wind also somehow reliable for the mitigation of this ocean acidification. Saturation and horizons under which dissolves. So oversaturated and undersaturated. So oversaturated means it is a surface of that. Okay, but it is not dissolves. Then shells and calcium carbonate and survive, special mechanism. Then in between the boundary of this lysosyl lysosyl there. Winners plus losers, you can say. CO2 increased in water, growths of plankton down. Then marine plants and win, then other lose. And but change and inevitable, so CO2 decreased, then ocean acidification also decreased. So somehow in finally you can say as a conclusion, then whenever we talk about ocean acidification, CO2 level is very much matters. When CO2 level is down or decreased, then ocean acidification not occur. When it is increased, then ocean acidification is occur. Now, impact of climate change in India. That is really important. Agriculture and food security, climate change, crop yield somehow very much affected. Then water also down. Then pest attacks also increased. GHGs more than 3 degrees centigrade negative effect. Then land submerged. Agriculture also affected. Livelihood of rural people like Asia and Africa, because of maximum population dependent on agriculture and agri-allied activities. They are all in threat. Then Indian agriculture, we can say rain fed. Rain is very much required. Then shifts in timing impact economy also somehow shaken because of this. Then decline in summer rainfall 10%, temperature increased, crop fertilizer also maybe used extra. Soil, water stress and water insecurity. Developing countries are adversely affected. Competition with the countries and within the states and of the country. Then melting of glaciers, rivers, extra flooded. Then fresh water depleted by 2050. Coastal areas are also hugely affected. This is also increase. Then sea level rise, thermal plus global warming, ice sheet melting, tropical storms were regularly come. Then ecosystem and biodiversity may be lost. Biodiversity loss is there. Extinction of species is then WWF. It means world's one fifth species is lost. Coastal states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Goa, and it might be experienced sea level rise. And Odisha worst hit by cyclones these days. Okay, Indian biodiversity. India is a land of mega diversity, mountain ecosystem, hotspots, species endemism. Then threat is also maybe done. Then fragmentation of humans here and there. Then glacial lake of outbursts. Himalayan ecosystem and perennial water cycle also disturbs, like India's Ganga and Brahmaputra affected, leading off a process of desertification. Climate change, diseases also occurs, increase in air pollution and unclean water and contaminated food. Because of this, dengue fever occurs and temperature increased, and malaria also may be spread. Heat waves and extra extreme weather events also done. Effects on fresh water supplying and increase the rate of diarrheal type of disease. Then glacial outburst, flood. Then diseases increased carrying insects. Then unhygienic and overcrowding of people or unhygienic conditions. Then transmission of diseases like malaria and Japanese encephalitis. And then crop yield also very low. Now the next chapter is ozone hole and all. Then I will cover in the next audio. Thanks a lot.